Welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice and we're going to check on the tomatoes a little bit, do a couple things here and there, and I like having you with me. I love your company. I'm walking around checking on things, and the sweet potatoes that we planted look pretty good. I mulched them with both wood chips and with chives, actually. I cut that chives right there back pretty far, and I'm thinking of moving it. And then I mulched with some of the grasses and some went inside for us to make food with. I have several things to do, as I said, mostly with tomatoes, but I always come check the strawberries first because garden snacks are for the kids and for the kids young at heart, right? Okay, here's a couple right away. These aren't the reddest, but I think they're still gonna taste pretty good. I also try to keep pulling the runners off. That way the strawberries won't try to reproduce through runners, but they'll go ahead and keep producing fruit so they can reproduce. So I always kind of look for that for just a minute or two before I start anything else. Here's another runner. After eating strawberries, another thing I do is often look for little bits of weeds or Bermuda grass growing in the pathways. And I take just a few minutes to pull them out so that they don't get too overwhelming or thick. Taking care of weeds early helps them never get into the actual beds themselves if I can keep the paths relatively free of them. Also, coolest thing, we found a chicken who had sat on eggs apparently. I didn't realize that. She has two adorable little tiny chicks, surprise chicks on the farm. So we have our 10 Tractor Supply chicks that are now about a month old, and then we have like brand new baby chicks with a mama as well. I love that part of homesteading. I love the new life and that farmy feel. Okay, here I have a garden bed that has a lot of tomatoes down the center, and then I have like things like herbs type basil, chives, flowering leeks all over, you know, on the outsides mostly. And so I put my, oh, here is a little bit of Bermuda grass. This is why I get out of the path early, so it doesn't get in the beds. I have my fencing a little high. This is how I grow my tomatoes vertically, is with cattle panel fence in the middle. I like to plant on both sides of the fence, and I like to kind of checkerboard it. So there's like, let's see, I think between, usually there's a foot to 15, 18 inches. But then I like stagger it, so it's kind of like diagonal, and the spacing is technically closer, but they have the whole side that they can spread their roots and stuff. I have some tape. This is a Velcro tape. I also have like a green plastic kind of tie tape. This is the one I can find right now. They are not all tall enough to tie up. Oh, I found another Bermuda grass. This is first year it has gotten this bed. So that's a bummer. We're gonna pull that out fast. And the ones that I can, I'm going to gently tie up, and the ones that I can't, I'll just wait for those to grow a little bigger. It's nice and cloudy today. It's so weird. It's like 100 degrees. We don't have this humid, overcast kind of weather very often, but I am taking advantage of it because it feels to me less hot than the brutal heat, like bearing down on top of me. So some of these just are not going to work. They're just not going to be tall enough, but the ones that are, I don't know, I just want to like gently coax them over there. See how this goes. This one feels like it's the right height. I don't want to like cut off any circulation of the plant. I just want to like encourage it to be upright. Just like that. And then I also take advantage of the fact that I can like, you know, pinch back bottom leaves that might be getting wet, that might be touching the soil. That's part of why I mulch, but it also helps just to get the bottom a little bit, I don't know, more airflow, less water hitting it. We do have a whole drip system, but they spray kind of tall sometimes because I'm trying to get a wider area, like a sprinkler. Just take a couple of those out. I don't know how well you can see this, but this one here has like a really yellowy leaf. It doesn't mean disease, but I like to take anything that's like really yellowy like that off. And usually it's the lower ones. I don't have a whole lot of problem with upper ones. If I have a lot of that up top, I'll just take the whole plant if it looks just kind of sickly. We have enough volunteers in the garden this year, I can replace it with stuff. Would you take a moment and click the like button for me? That helps YouTube show other people who like similar content my videos. Thank you. Let's get back to working on the tomatoes. Now, if the stem is really close like this one, I just do a real small tie because it's not going to be pulling on it if it already wants to be right next to it. That will kind of hold it upright. This is a taxi tomato. You can see there's some little tomatoes there. There are some little tomatoes down there too. That's fun. We have them planted out so late this year that that's encouraging. I have a couple tomato plants like this peach one that just haven't looked good even up to the top. And so that behind it's a volunteer that looks beautiful. I'm going to take this peach out. It's a bummer because it's the only variety of peach I have, but I'd much rather that thrive than this possibly be diseased and struggle the whole season. So that one is gonna go. I'm actually gonna wiggle it out because I have no idea. The plant doesn't look healthy. I usually cut at the soil line at the end of the season, but unhealthy plants, I just want to remove them. And I have this bucket. All the stuff that I put in here is gonna go in a burn pile so I don't accidentally keep disease in a compost pile if it doesn't get hot enough. Interrupting my tomatoes, it looks like a lot of my beans that I sowed in this bed where we had harvested our soft neck garlic are coming up, which is very cool and encouraging. I will have to put the fencing, and you see it like leaning there. I'm gonna have to put it back up so the beans can trellis. I did not plant anything where I had hardneck garlic yet. I have a video about the hardneck garlic, I can link it below, but I planted these like maybe a day or two before I pulled hardneck garlic when I pulled the soft neck, and they are coming up great. And it looks like lemon cucumber are finally coming up. Let's just hope that pests don't eat them because that is like my 4th or 5th try this year. I don't have any seeds left. Now back over here by the tomatoes, you'll see I have leeks coming up. I have leeks, this is like a perennial leek bed, so I will have leeks come back and then I'll harvest them in like probably really early spring or late winter. I have this other, I think it's a volunteer. It's not quite by the fencing, but I think I might let it live and we'll just see. You know, I have this one over here, the emerald, that also looks a little struggling. I'm gonna let it try, and if it doesn't make it, I might move this one to its place. That's why I've kept some of the volunteers, because I had iffy tomatoes I started. Some days working on the garden, I feel kind of rushed. I'm trying to like beat the heat, hurry with the weather like this, and it's just kind of early evening, about 5 o'clock. I'm kind of taking my time, and if I just get this bed dialed in, I'll feel happy. I have a couple tomato cages to put around a couple volunteer tomatoes that aren't by fencing. And I'm also gonna like clean up things like the calendula. Some of it's just too big and some of it just needs to be deadheaded. My bees really like it. I have a lot of it. But I also get some buggy stuff. So sometimes I just have to cut it back more in the summer. And it really shows off in the winter here because we're zone 9B, so it can actually live year round. And actually I need to cut it back a little bit just to even reach into these tomatoes. So it's a good excuse to do a little bit of pruning. And my garden, I garden year round. I grow food, herbs, flowers year round on our property. So I'm always having to do some sort of adjustment because otherwise if I didn't like cut things back, harvest things, get rid of things in my garden, there'd be no room for planting or for other things to grow up. So I'm always just kind of doing this. It's always a little bit of pulling this, cutting this back, making room for something else all year, like repeat, 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 repeat. But it kind of is relaxing sometimes when I need to process life and think. Pruning is an act of life. Our own lives get pruned. I don't know. I connect with God and the earth. And oh my gosh, I think it is raining on July 1st. That is crazy. It does not rain here in July. How odd is this weather? I am gonna laugh. I am doing a tomato video in July in the rain. I don't live in the South. I don't live where it rains in the summer. I live in a Mediterranean climate. Yeah, Those butterflies are running for cover. I should be running for cover. I really hope there's not thunderstorms because we get fires in the summer. We are so dry. If you look at our fields, they are golden, not brown, golden. But this is so funny. This feels like I'm like in, I don't know, Georgia or Alabama or Florida. I'm not. I'm in Northern California where we have hot, dry summers, like no rain for 6 months and it's raining. Oh, the garden is never boring. This is really pretty. It's a Martino's Roma. It was very productive for me the last couple years. Lots of blossoms. It looks nice and full and healthy. And I think it's just tall enough for me to tie it up. I have so much Thai basil. It's going to be a jungle of Thai basil here and I love it. We like to make curries, but also it is so good for pollinators. I love anything that blooms, like blooming, flowering herbs are really good for pollinators. See the sky? It is so gray and it's raining and it's just such an odd summer day. A lot of you might be used to this weather, but we surely are not. This here is a volunteer tomato. I'm so curious what kind of tomato it is. I don't know if the volunteers are the same in our garden bed everywhere or if they're all different. They came from the compost, so I'm not really sure. Or maybe they came from things falling, I don't know. You can see I have chickens behind me in so many of my videos, for reals. So many chickens. We have free range on our 3.5 acres. The backfield's about 3 acres. They are always crowing and talking behind me. They always have an opinion. I'm gonna put this tomato cage. I'm not a big tomato cage person unless it's for like zucchini and summer squash, but I don't have a cattle panel trellis to put here. So I guess this is what we're doing. Pulling some volunteers out of like calendula. We have so much calendula, we don't need the volunteers. And I might trim this up if we don't get too much thunder or something, because I don't want to be out here if there's lightning. Oh my goodness, it feels like it might turn into hail. I might get hailed on. Better get the girls out of the pool. This is starting to get really, really hard. I'll be right back. Okay, I will come back out in just a minute if it passes. This is hilarious. What in the world? Okay, it looks like blue sky is over like south of us. So that was weird, but I'm going back to work on the tomatoes. How crazy is the sky? Blue, gray. All right. So what I was trying to show you is I'm using a tomato cage, though I don't usually use tomato cages. And I'm going to clean up this calendula right here because it's too big and it's just a mess. So many need to be deadheaded. I hear thunder, so I might have to go back inside again. We will see how this goes. Not sure how far away the thunder is. I have another volunteer over here that I'm going to cage. Right now I think I'm going to cage my best looking volunteers, and we'll see if I can get a couple more cages from my sister. This whole calendula mess looks better than it did. That's good. Okay, there's one here too. I don't know. I'm probably keeping way too many, but I only got 4 cages from her. I think she technically has more. I just couldn't fit them in the back of my car with all the kids in it. So I'll have to count how many more I think I need to realistically borrow from her. That one does not go down as far. I think I have like horticulture in this bed, horticulture. So there's a log or something that's keeping it from sinking down as far as I'd like it to. I have this huge cabbage that was a volunteer. I'm not sure if it's gonna head up. I asked you guys in a different video, this is the progress. Maybe I should just take it out. It's crowding my peppers. I might wait a couple days and just see if the head progresses or if it pulls apart more. Vining up over there is cantaloupe. It is lovely. We have some cantaloupe starting, but what I'm working on is over here. I think I'm going to put a cage around that tomato right there in the corner. think this one has adequate space to grow if I just cage it. I never think cages hold things up that well, but you know, better than completely laying on the ground. It might eventually lay on the ground. It does have little tomatoes on it though, so I really want to know what these tomatoes end up being. My first pickling cucumber. Oh, that is so fun. This is finding just great. And this Japanese flowering kale that was supposed to be a winter thing for me, it's very pretty. Just never know in the garden when something's gonna show off and what season it's gonna pick. I'm not sure if many in this bed are ready to be tied up. There might be a couple, so I'm gonna at least check. Oh, maybe that one. That one looks pretty good. And this one right here looks pretty good. So we'll tie just a couple up. Sometimes it is just so therapeutic to work in the garden, to just be quiet, to listen to the wind, to the chickens clucking, to the breeze, to work with my hands. There is something that I can't really describe, and I know that you understand if you garden. I know you understand if you get outdoors. There is something about the outdoors. There's something about touching the dirt and touching plants and taking in just the environment around us. Let me know if you agree. Let me know how it feels to you. I know I'm not alone. I know there are those of you watching who 100% get it. And when you're overwhelmed, when you're discouraged, when there's just too much, you go outside. You go on a walk, you work in the garden, you go and watch the birds or the bees or your chickens. You get what I'm saying. From laying over, flopping over for so long, they're kind of growing sideways, but I think they'll start going upward if I encourage them to. I've grown tomatoes for 16 years, so they should work out. And these potatoes need to be harvested at some point. This is just, today's not the day. It's not the day. You probably can't even tell, but I got so much done here today. Trying to count tomato cages I need. 1, 2, and then this bed is fine, and I tied up what I could. Over there, I think I might need 1, so that'd be 3. Over here, I still need 4, 5, I think. 2 more in this bed. I'll have to pull some, be brutal with it, decide what stays. And then this bed, I did clean it up a lot, mostly peppers, 6, and over here, 7. Yeah, 7, I'll have to pick which one of those I keep. Over here in this pot, that's number 8. I don't think she has 8 more. I can't do 8 more tomato cages. I don't think my sister has 8 more, so I will have to probably pick some of the tomatoes that are struggling by the fencing and just replace them with the healthier volunteers. And we'll just see what kind of tomatoes decided to be the strongest, most robust, most productive in the garden. Thanks for joining me as I just puttered around in a really weird weather day, and sometimes the heart just feels so much lighter after working in the garden. Let me know if you can relate.